Hi everyone, once again I made it to Sani Top and I am in the highest pub in Africa. And this is how I got here. Please join me on my trip up. I have added all the interesting bits, but I have put an index in the description. So if you find the trip up or down boring, you can skip to the next section. Remember to subscribe and thank you for watching. Enjoy! The internet rated the Sani Pass one of the most dangerous mountain passes in the world. If you think so, please write your comment in the comment section below. Now, the first question that everybody asks is how far have they tarred the road? Now, for those of you that are not familiar with the Sani Pass, the Sani Pass is tarred to the Lesotho border or to the Lesotho border post, and I'm sure the South African government are under pressure to tar the rest of the road. Now, to answer the question, the South African side is not tarred to the South African border post yet. It is done about 3/4 of the way, so there's another third that's left over. The part of the Sani Pass below the South African border post is not really a challenge and can be driven with any car. So I am gonna skip that section. So I'm at the South African side of the border post and I have to go and have a COVID test done, not for going out of South Africa, but for coming back into South Africa later this afternoon when I come back. As a rule, I don't film at the border post as I don't want to upset any of the officials on duty. With the COVID tests done, I'm ready to proceed. I have been up the Sani Pass once before, but this time it's wet. I'm a little bit concerned about traction, but I will evaluate that in each section. As for the border crossing, this is probably one of the easiest border crossings to do. As I drive up, there is a few streams to cross, and on this track you drive through the water and not over it. The base is firm, so this is not very eventful. And then, after about an hour's drive, I get to the business end of the Sani Pass. Now here is where things really start to happen. With hairpin sharp switchbacks, this can be a challenging section, especially considering the sheer drop next to me. Luckily, the Pajero has got a very tight turning circle and I can make these turns with ease. You can hear the tires squabble for traction here and there. This section is done in first gear low range, and the automatic gearbox allows me to slow down to a crawl, making it a breeze to drive up here. The taxis you see are all four-wheel drive vehicles with low range, as no two-wheel drive vehicles are allowed to drive up the Sani Pass. Getting to the top, you have to get your passport stamped and pay the mandatory toll fee to enter Lesotho. Be sure to get a receipt. You might be asked for that at a traffic stop. This has not happened to me in Lesotho, but in Namibia and Botswana. Well, that is almost a given in those countries. In most books I read that you must allow about 2 hours up and 2 hours down for the Sani Pass. But in my experience, I would say 3 hours up and 3 hours down. I left at 9 this morning and it's about noon now, just in time for lunch. And that is how I got here. It is a tradition, maybe more of a religion, to go and have a drink at the Sani Top pub. Or let me put it this way. It is a sin not to grab a drink and a photo at the Sani Top pub. But be sure not to overdo it. You have to still drive down, and that requires a fair amount of concentration. And with your thirst quenched and some food, it is a formality to drive to the highest point, and as far as I could see, pretty much the highest point in Lesotho. This drive is pretty uneventful, on a very nice newly built road. With the clock ticking towards the 2 o'clock mark, it is time for me to start my descent back to South Africa. The South African border post closes at 6 o'clock, and if you miss that deadline, you will spend the night in no man's land. No man's land is the part between the two border posts. This has happened to a whole lot of people. Sorry, but not me this time. Don't forget to have your passport stamped before you leave Lesotho. Apparently you will have problems getting into Lesotho next time you want to come. Well, that goes pretty much for all countries. Don't forget. It looks to me like the water has washed away a bit of the road in the time I spent in the pub. Once again, the most exciting part of the pass is at the top, and the driver don't have much time to admire the beauty of the mountains. And then we reach the South African border post. Once again, it is pretty much a formality to have your passport stamped here. And then we're back in sunny South Africa, or today, cloudy South Africa. All the links you will need is in the description below. On the advice of a friend of mine, Andrew, that watches the channel on a smart TV, I will in future also display the contact detail on the screen. Andrew, thank you for your input. To all my other viewers, thank you for watching. Until next time, goodbye.